Good afternoon. Welcome to a special edition of Broker Talk. Understanding the Good afternoon and welcome to a special edition of Broker Talk. Uh, I'm going to do that one more time. Uh, he's
This meeting is being recorded.
he asked me to do a backup of a backup. So so here we are. Uh,
I never saw that before. Up on the Zoom link, it says it's being recorded.
yes, I'm recording it from Zoom. It's being recorded in um,
Is that your phone that's doing that?
yeah, let me turn that off. Um, he's hearing an echo of everything. Um, I'm hearing an echo.
Silencing my phone as well.
And let me stop this. And we're going to actually just start it over again. And um, okay, that's good. And here we go. Okay, it sounds good now. That was just okay. We're starting over again. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, and welcome to another special edition of Broker Talk. Understanding the real estate industry and creating your own success is a process, and we are here today to break that down for you. I'm Larry Lawfer, your host each week, and I'm joined by the CEO of Casas Unlimited, Jim Lowenstern. Selling the most expensive house ever sold in the U.S. is just one of the many accomplishments of our guest today. She's a member of the Luxury Home Marketing Specialist with the highest Million Dollar Guild designation. She's a student, a philanthropist, a community developer, and both a lover and a supporter of the arts. She's on the board of the LA Opera, the San Francisco Opera, and soon to join the Lyric Opera here in Boston. How lucky are they? She has written a best selling book, Luxury Home Selling Mastery, and is in the process of collaborating on a book about success and finding the right real estate agency atmosphere to grow your own personal success. I'm so pleased to have you on our show today, Catherine Bassick. Welcome, Catherine. Tell me, how did you become who you are? And thank you for sharing your secrets with us today.
Well, that's a very big question. I guess I have to say, a while back in my 20s, I remember not being who I am today and feeling awkward going to parties and not being able to talk to people and that sort of thing. It was like very, very um, difficult because I always felt like I had to be somebody else. And then just one day, I had a revelation that God just created one of me. And if I'm not myself, then I'm cheating the planet or the universe, or however way you want to do it, on the person that God created me to be. So my best thing was just be myself. And then I actually prayed and would, before going into a meeting or going to a party or something like that, I would actually do a prayer saying, please speak through me and let what I'm supposed to be saying and doing come through me. And that was life changing. And that's kind of how I became who I am.
Was it like a an affirmation, or was it really more religious based?
Oh, I don't think it was like religious based because at the time I wasn't very religious.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been spiritual, but I wasn't like a practicing going to church every Sunday or anything like that.
Right.
But it was just something that just a thought that just came to me. Um, I think I had maybe asked, just how you ask yourself a question like, how is it so easy for some people? And somehow that was the thought that came to me. And then I was like, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Well, so many people ask themselves the wrong question. Why does this happen to me? That's a horrible question because your brain will answer that question. If you ask yourself, what can I do to be better today? Your brain will answer that question. So that's why I asked if it was an affirmation. That's somewhat of you're affirming yourself and you're looking within yourself for the right answer and you're throwing it out to the universe.
Exactly.
So, um,
Since then, I meditate a lot every morning and every evening. It's become a big part of my life. And that is one of the things that keep me sane in this business, because as you can imagine, sometimes it's not the easiest thing in the world. So
I wanted to get to some of the what we call secrets, but we had a conversation earlier today, and we both agree there really are no secrets. I mean, anything that we say right here, agents could try and do. They won't do it exactly like us, so there will be always be a difference. But I loved the story that you told me earlier today about acquiring that over $100 million listing and how you, even at a point where you could have used the money, how you negotiated that. Could you share that again?
um, well, they negotiate. We were called in for a listing presentation, and we were against really heavy hitters. Like one of the people we were going against was Jeff Highland, who happens to own Hilton and Highland in Los Angeles, very, very successful firm. And at the time they were with Christie's. And then the other one was Patrick Barber, who was with Sotheby's and then moved over to Christie's in San Francisco. So, and then anyway, so like some really big hitters. And then I came in there and anyway, we chatted, they liked us and all of that. And then of course comes you know, let's have the meeting and talk about the price and that sort of thing. So we went in and oh, they wanted to meet at the house and they wanted to have the meeting at 12 o'clock. And I use my sense of humor a lot in my deals, and some people may not get it, but I was like, 12 o'clock, I was like, that's lunchtime. I hope you're going to be providing some lunch for us. And he was like, well, of course. And so I went there with my broker, Jeff Gibson from Sotheby's in San Francisco. And we met, the house was still under construction. So we met, I think, at the barn, and they had pizza and soda. And I had the pizza and soda. And so afterwards we walked out and my broker said, oh my God, there's no way with that body you eat pizza, but the fact that they offered it and you had it clearly shows that you know how to really relate to people. And then afterwards, then they really liked us and they liked me. And so he called and said, I'd like to use you, but I only want to give you a 1% commission. And I said, I don't work for 1% commission. He's like, well, this is $100 million house. You're going to make a lot of money. And I said, yeah, it is $100 million house. And nobody has ever sold a $100 million house, specifically in California, because the taxes are ad valorem, which means that you're going to be paying $1 million or above every single year. And for me to get this done is a huge deal. And by the way, you're not paying me for doing this deal, you're paying me for all of the blood, sweat, and tears that have come to make me who I am today, and all my other deals and my expertise in getting you what you want. And he said, no, I'm sticking firm. I'm going to give you this. And I said, you know what? If that's the case, it's clear to me that you really don't respect my profession and the way that I do. And I really can't work with someone like that. And I wish you luck, but I believe you need to go with one of the other people that you have interviewed. And so I hung up the phone.
How tough was it to say those words?
It was not tough at
Because
all. I
that was
believe I
still $1
yelled
million,
it at him.
right?
Yeah, but that was not, it's so funny how people like really underestimate their self-worth, and I never have. Um, and so
You
people
hung
negotiate.
up and he called the broker.
Oh, right. So then he calls the broker, and then he tells the broker, okay, we're going to give you the commission you want. And we want to just make sure that Catherine is going to be our broker. And he said, well, of course, she loves you so much. Everything is so great and blah, blah, blah. I had not told him what had happened at this point. And so then he calls me back. And then so my broker calls me. It's like, great news. They've agreed to the terms and da, da, da. And I said, oh, and then I told him the story, and he's like, oh my God. He goes, that's why you are who you are. Anyway, so then I wound up selling it probably 2 weeks later. And then we had a 34-day escrow. And we wound up going, it was 108 million.
So the takeaways here are believe in yourself, don't underestimate your value, be willing to stand firm. And that's just a fantastic story for all of our audience to understand and believe. I want to get into why you've worked for so many different brokerages and your new book about success. But let's take a moment and we're going to have a commercial break. We'll be right back.
When you are searching for a new home, you want to be working with a realtor with years of experience, a professional with intimate knowledge of the communities that you are considering moving to, and someone who really wants to represent you as a buyer in what is probably the largest investment you will ever make in your lifetime. The realtors at Castles Unlimited want to be your choice when you are ready to make your next move. Please visit us at castlesunlimited.com or call us anytime at 800-967-3561. The realtors at Castles Unlimited are here to help your next purchase, lease, or sale of any real estate the easiest decision you've ever made. Start your search anytime, 24/7 at castlesunlimited.com.
And we're back.
And we're
Jim.
back. So I just want to go over a couple things, but before we go over the couple things, Bloomberg Wealth had the top 5 places in the U.S. to retire, and the top 3 were Georgia, Florida, Tennessee.
Oh, I can't believe
Number
that.
4 was Missouri.
Oh,
And guess who came in at number 5?
Boston?
Texas?
Massachusetts.
I can't believe that.
We're number 5.
Was that
Number 5.
to retire?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. This is bank rate. Examined 5 categories to generate scores: affordability, wellness, culture, weather, and crime. At the very bottom of the list was Maryland. The bottom 5 was Alaska, Montana, Kansas, Minnesota, and Maryland. So, yeah. So, Catherine, I just want clarification on one thing. So, luxury home selling mastery. I see that as, I think you're in the book. Did you write the book? I have Erica Glessing.
So Erica, I don't know, she said that somehow it works with the publishers is that they can only have one person, but that because I wrote the chapter that I wrote. And so I am the author. I do get the residual income, and I'm listed as an author, but not really sure why it doesn't show up on Amazon that way. But this new book that I'm writing will definitely have me as the author.
So let's get to that, because this is important. When you started out, you were in, I think you said 6 agencies, and then you found an agency, and you've recently done a couple of hopping kind of things. Talk about why and how to choose the right agency.
When I first got into real estate, 2003, I joined a company that I thought was a really great one, Alon Pinal in Menlo Park. And they seem to have all the right things and that sort of thing, and everybody was very, very nice to me. And by the way, this is very important lesson for the listeners out there. And everybody's very nice to you when they think you have nothing to contribute, or you're just a person who's really not going to do that well. And so within my first month, I did a deal for 2.75. And all of a sudden, all the people that were very sweet and kind to me and seemed to want to mentor me kind of just were like, whoa, no, no, no. And very different attitude very quickly. And
Professional jealousy,
one day
yes.
yeah. And then one day we had a meeting outside of our office, like within that week. And I came back and I just noticed that all of my paperwork had been gone through, my folders, everything. And I just felt like really just violated. And then on top of it, the broker's daughter worked there. So of course she was getting all the leads. And I was like, I don't like this. It just seems like nepotism is a big deal. And now since then, I have found that to be quite true, lots of places. And then I went to another company in the Bay Area. They had just been starting up. And then I was there for like a couple of months, and it was like a one-man show, whatever. And then I sold a whole like 3 or 4 houses there. And I was like, nah, that's not for me. And then I joined another company, and I became very successful there. Now, this is all within my first year. I made $440,000. And so then my broker would do anything to keep me happy. She treated my children as if they were her own, and just amazing, amazing. And so we were all in a pit, and I get very distracted if I'm talking to a client and other people. It's just, I'm very self-conscious that way. So I went and I said, I really need my own office. And by this time, I'm like the second or third highest producer in the company. And she's like, okay, I can't give you your own office, but I can give you one of those cubicles that have, the surrounding all the way. So I said, that's fine. I just want to be able to have private conversations. And so she went to this couple that had been there. They're older, maybe in their 70s. And they had been with the company from like day one. And she went and she basically asked them to move and have me sit there. And I watched them in tears as they were doing this. And I had no idea that was happening. And it broke my heart. And I got a very valuable lesson right there. And that is that brokerages and managers don't love you. You are only as good as your last deal. And then I had always
that wasn't what happened there. They just didn't know their job. Their job is to make everybody happy, not just Catherine.
I know. And by the way, I got resented by other agents in the company thinking I'm responsible for that.
Of course.
And so then I came back after, it's my fault. And then after the weekend, and I had all my listings, like pinpointed on my desk, on the thing. And somebody had come and tore everything off and threw it on.
Yeah, you had a target on your back at that point.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't think this is for me either. And so originally, before I even signed up with a company, I went to Sotheby's and I said, I'd like to join Sotheby's because that's who I had used up to that point for my own transactions. And they said, we just don't hire new agents. And, we definitely would love to work with you once, you have training. And that was the reason I joined my first company, because they also had really great training. And so I did get great training. And then, so after almost a year, or maybe 8 months of going through all this, I went to Sotheby's and I said, okay, here are my deals. This is what I've done. I'm number 11 in my market in my first year. How about now? They're like, we would love to have you. And so then I joined Sotheby's, and it was not like a franchise Sotheby's. It was Sotheby's corporate. And that was a great experience. So then I worked with them for like 16 years and or 15 years. And then I moved to Boston, and then I met with Gibson Sotheby's, and they are a franchise, and it's all of the things that I did not like the nepotism and all of that. And I was just like, I can't do this. So then I was going to buy a brokerage and have my own Sotheby's label. But anyway, that didn't work out. And Compass came and they were very, very, um, you know, inviting and offered me the moon. And so I said, okay. So I went and I joined them. And one of the things that I thought was so great was
Okay.
that I could keep my uh, Boston business, build my Boston business, and keep my California business. And it would just be great. But although you have those offices, it's just like being with two different brokerage companies. It has nothing to do with the one company and all of that. And then, and soon thereafter, they said they have all this technology and all of this marketing and all of that. And I just, afterwards, I realized that they did not have any original technology. My background is an engineer by training. So I felt like all of these things that they were using were other people.
Slow down. I want to hear that twice. You're
Right.
saying that all the amazing out of the box, state of the art, never before seen technology that Compass has is the same thing that everyone else has.
Correct. And they just private label it, or they bought the company since then. But by the way, they didn't even use the best in the industry. They just used whoever. So I was like, okay, that doesn't work for me. And then so I went to go work for Landvest Christie's. And that was just a great company. And I love everybody there still. And it's a true way of being an advisor, and not, just an agent. And I really did enjoy that very much. And I was happy there. And then I was teaching a class on Clubhouse with a friend of mine from Sotheby's, Janie Coffey. And so I said, oh, you must be so excited. Compass is going to be going public soon. You're going to probably make it so much money. And she's like, no, I'm not. This is offline. And she said, I'm going to actually be changing brokerage. And I said, oh my God, that's crazy. You've been Miss Compass, rah, rah, rah. And so I said, where are you going? And so then she told me about EXP. And then we talked about it. And within 48 hours, I was at EXP. And the reason that I joined EXP is I've always wanted to have my own brokerage, but I didn't want to go through all that stuff that you have to do. It's very expensive. It's cost, aside from being costly, it's very, legal intensive and that sort of thing. So so it was Catherine Bassick Fine Homes and Estates, and it's brokered by EXP. So as far as anyone is concerned, my sign, everything is Catherine Bassick Fine Homes and Estates. And I'm getting to do luxury the way I feel like luxury needs to be done. And I don't have someone standing over my shoulder telling me, no, that doesn't comply. No, I get to do it my way. And so that has been.
So I have a question, and I know we have should we do the ad first and then come back?
Yeah, let's break. We'll be right back in a few moments.
Smells so good.
Welcome back. I hope that ad made you hungry and you can order some of your Savage Wiener. We're here with Catherine Bassick of EXP, a super successful agent who is sharing with us her secrets on how she developed her skills and her uh, uh, amazing ability to get houses sold quickly. Um, and I think a lot of it
Okay,
has to
so
do with your mindset. Um, and Catherine, and how you got focused on what you wanted to do and you just went ahead and did it. Is that correct?
Okay.
That's very
So
correct.
Jim's
Yes.
question. Okay. Couple of questions. Catherine, on your personal website, no mention of EXP at all. Zero.
At the bottom,
Just wondering.
at the very
I
bottom.
looked at the very
Oh,
bottom. It must have been very tiny. Very
So,
tiny.
so what?
Right.
What's the point, Jim?
yeah. What's the point?
No, well, the next question is, we're both members of Realm. Are you on the calls every week, and do you get things out of it every week, and do you find it
I'm not.
a value?
I don't really. I'm not able to be on it every week, especially this year because we have been so busy with clients. But I do try to go on whenever I can. I find it to be. Uh, I like it when they do the interviews with the agents, and I was able to pick up some really cool uh, products that I have implemented from that. So that's worth it to me.
Such as what?
Well, there's a company that one of the Southern California people they were using, and they basically provide it's like Curbio, I guess, but they provide the money for the seller to do staging and to do repairs.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I thought that was really
That's
good.
probably the same one we use.
Y-
Can't remember the name right now.
Right. And we had her as
Yeah.
a guest.
Out of Southern California.
Yeah.
That's right. She was a guest.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had them on the show.
She was Flip Wilson's granddaughter.
Yes.
She still is Flip Wilson's granddaughter.
Yeah. Yes.
So that was good. And then, so I just enjoy, hearing things. And then I also like the idea that if I need a top agent in a market, I can go to them.
Yeah.
So I think that the meetings could be done in a half hour, frankly, and we don't need as much as is too much for for every week. I believe more people would show up if they did it just a half hour.
I agree. I've gone to a lot of them, but I can't sit through all of them. I've got to do my work also. So you did say, and we've been busy. So do you have other team members, or when you say that it's you and admins that are not licensed? How do you run your company?
It's me and only me. So when I say we, I meant the collective real estate agents around the country right now. We're all busy, but I have just me. And I have, and the reason that I'm able to do it was just me. Now, remember, I had concierge level at Christie's. They did everything for me. But with EXP, the way that they really are a true technology company, and I'm able to do everything myself, and it's been great. And I'm not a volume producer. My deals are bigger. And so I don't do, 50 deals. I don't even know how you can, but some people do it very well.
I've got agents that do so much. I don't know how it's even possible.
I'm very much
defies gravity.
Yeah, I give a lot of service, and my clients just all think they're the only client. And that's the way I like it, because that's the way I'd like to be treated. So I've been able to get it all done, through the things that are available to me through EXP. And then also I've been able to get so many leads, which is crazy. I haven't had a lead like in years. And so because of their technology, every time I have a listing, they do like, I don't know what crazy magic. And then all of a sudden I have like new clients that are coming in. So for me, if there's a way to beat Zillow and those people at their game, is to give the power back to the listing agent so that we can get some clients out of our listing like we used to, because that hasn't been happening, but
not for a while.
It has been happening for me. Yeah, but it has been happening with me with EXP. So that's been really great.
Well, and the show, I mean, there are a bunch of franchises, and it's really wonderful EXP is working for you. There's a lot of people that aren't good with the virtual aspect of it, that they do need a little bit more. And I think one of the things that we talked about earlier was the people that you have around you. Like, you don't want to be in an office where they're ripping off They're coming into your office and checking things. That's of course that's a no-no. But some of the yeses are be around people you like and respect, who you can open up and ask honest questions, and
Yeah.
get good answers.
And that
I
brings
have
yeah,
that.
sorry.
Oh, so I have that, believe it or not, and I have it in spades.
Yeah.
So the woman who bought me in, who was with Sotheby's, and we were, I have her, I have the people above her. So we have Monday morning calls, which are fantastic. We are able to talk to each other. We text each other. Hey, this is going on. Last week, I needed a moving company and I needed it the next day because my moving company flaked. I had someone at EXP through our little thing that we do. I feel like I know all these people, by the way, because they are around here. And I had someone the next day, they said, okay, we're going to be here at 10 a.m. And it was $500 cheaper than the other people that I had already had. And I had this fabulous woman who was an agent at EXP who took care of everything. So I know people think, oh, it's so scary, but in some ways, I feel like I have more of a support group. And because there's no competition and we all want each other to win, I have learned to really love. I mean, I've always loved other real estate agents, but I am not looking at any real estate agent out there as a competition. I look at everybody as a collaborator. And I'm very lucky that I have friends that are also really top-notch agents that we also get together and chit chat and all of that. So it doesn't mean you have to be with the same company to get that level of support.
No, you have to be looking for it, and you have to be aware of it, and then nurture those relationships. I, on the other hand, have a hall of shame, and every time you meet one of those agents that's going rifling through, they go into there, and I don't always remember them because I block that out, but their name is in my database, and so that's who you are. um,
So
Not good.
I it's
so
absolutely.
Catherine, well, we spoke a while back when we were going through lockdown and offices were closed, and you did say that you had missed going into the Land Vest office and how great it was to be there and all that. So you don't miss all that now? You don't
No.
miss having an office to go to and seeing people face to face?
I'm seeing people right at my appointments and that sort of thing. And I do have lunch, and I'm a member of the New Quinn Club in Boston, and I have my book clubs and all of that. What I don't miss at all is having to pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars every year for the benefit of socializing. I believe I can belong to the best country club in the world for that. So my 3 last deals that closed, I had 100%. And my friends, until you get that check for 100% of the commission, you have no idea what it feels like. It felt amazing.
Yeah. For you newer agents, that's called capping. So once you have paid back everything that your franchise needed to continue, you no longer have to pay them. And some agencies you cap at 100%, and some you don't.
And to be totally factual, it's 100% less fees, and there's monthly fees, and there's um,
Exactly.
review fees. It's close to 100%, but
It's pretty much
we try
100%
for
because
accuracy.
no, it's
Pretty
100%.
much, but
No, not pretty much. I pay for technology. That's the technology I would pay anyway. My technology fee and all of that comes
Your
out to
E&O.
$250. All of that is $250 a month per transaction. I'll pay that all day long and get
oh
100%.
yeah, I'm just saying.
And
I
yeah,
know
but
I
pay
know
them,
all the numbers. So
right. But I would, but in to be fair, when I was with Landvest, I was paying 5% per deal of my commission for a marketing fee. What was I getting for
that's a lot.
marketing? I mean, nothing, so, and they're
That's
out
a
there.
lot.
And by the way, Compass is now like at 6%. So I'll pay the $250 all day long. And we get so much for that. And by the way, I cap it $16,000. And if I have 20 additional deals, they give me the $16,000 back in stock.
Wow.
So I'm golden, and you guys should think about joining. A lot of brokerages are joining
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so cheap.
Compass,
We're not
Compass,
promoting. We're
Compass,
not promoting. We just don't do that on the show.
Compass price,
I know. I'm just telling you. So you asked me.
Compass price is down. And we always talk about this stuff too. So Compass price, stock price is down. EXP's stock price is down today.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Anyway,
yeah, I mean, it's all
but
part of it.
but so is Realogy. Realogy is down, right? So okay,
Trilogy should be down.
yeah.
We're getting way away from the real subject here. We're into the making of a lot of money. Most of our agents, most of our audience are starting out, and they would love to have a big deal. So I know that you're getting leads from your new agency right now, but when you go in to make a presentation, other than being completely prepared and understanding the pricing and all of that, what is it that you say to your potential lister, seller?
Well, it depends on the person, right? And at the level that I deal with, I've now had 9 billionaire clients. And that's a different conversation than you would with somebody who's listing. And I just listed something for $599,000. So it's very, very different. And the smallest thing matters, but I do get my 6% commission. And by the way, I keep 3.5, and I give the buyer's agent 2.5.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Are you handling sales in California still?
No, I've stopped that.
Okay.
I still am licensed there, but I have people that I give my leads to. So I do a referral basis.
Yeah.
Yes. And on the referrals, I take 35%.
So you do highly value yourself, and you're getting paid at that right value.
Yes.
That's amazing, Catherine. I'm sure that our audience listening wishes they were you, and they would want to be your best friend.
They can be. They can be me, and they can be my best friend. The whole thing is there's a million people, so many people out there, right? They have their license, and everybody is like, don't worry about it. It's a really tough industry. And they give them so many excuses to not do well. They give themselves excuses not to do well.
Yeah.
I could never accept those excuses. I wanted to do really well. And I knew I had what it takes to do well. In hindsight, like, what the heck was I even thinking? Like, why did I think I had anything? But I did. And so the key is to just don't give yourself any excuses to not be 100% of who you can be.
I think that's excellent idea for all of us. Catherine, you have been an amazing guest. We'd love to have you back again at some point if you're willing, if you have the moments for us.
Of course, always. Yeah. One of the things that I love to do is I love to train other agents and help them be successful. That's why I do the talks. That's why I'm here. That's why I write these books and that sort of thing. It's not about me, has no ego. I don't get anything out of it, but I truly love helping other people succeed. And, that's the greatest gift for me.
Well, we'll talk offline. We have coaches in all the time, and you're even better than a coach because you're actually boots on the ground. I'm sure they're beautiful shoes on the ground.
Very important.
Yes, and you can help our audience. We really look forward to it.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fantastic show. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening. Next
Thanks,
week,
Catherine.
Next week we have another super agent. This one is from Nantucket. She'll share with us how she got her $23 million listing.